Good morning. This is the weekend update for Buy Sell Short for Saturday, December 1st. We're starting off today with the Dow daily chart. And as you can see, over the last 2 weeks, we've had a fabulous rally in the market, almost actually a 600-point rally, really because the politicians were on break. And over the last couple of days, we have seen the DC battle escalate with both sides refusing to dig in. And to be honest, it's quite surprising that the market has been able to hold up with all the political rhetoric that is shooting around. But looking at the daily chart, we find a potential near-term top right here at the 200-day moving average. RSI has stalled out at the 50 area, but if we look at stochastics over the last 2 weeks have just rocketed to extreme overbought levels. So we could be at risk for a retrace this week if the political rhetoric continues and we don't get any more help on the market. If we look at the 15-minute chart, you can see we've fallen into a quite wide, essentially a week range right here, 1 week range. Resistance at the recent highs, 1375. This big dip here was the initial. This is when the chatter started that there was really no deal going on right now. But, we closed positive on Friday, even with all the rhetoric out there. So right now, the market still believes a deal is going to be made. So that is where we stand. If we get or continue to get this negative chatter from Washington, we could be in store for a pretty sharp decline. Now, one thing to keep in mind regarding Friday, one possible reason that we held up all week is that, again, just like the end of October, the end of November is also a lot of hedge fund and mutual funds year end. So we could have seen a lot of window dressing again on Thursday and Friday, which is why we potentially held up in the market despite all the negative news. Now, looking at the 15-minute chart, RSI is curled up, positive MACD cross, stochastics at 50. So, just looking at this, aside from the political crap that's floating around there, we could see an up move this week. Looking at the Russell chart, the Russell has stalled out at the 50-day moving average and could roll over. So there's a lot of risk in the charts, but you can't make a big bet either way on this market. If we get a deal, or if these politicians come out on Monday and said, hey, or on Sunday and said, hey, we could come to a deal. We could see this market rocket 200 points higher. So you can't really short, but you can't really go long this market. You just have to trade the intraday moves and be mindful that we still have tax sellers out there and approach the market that way. Now, regarding the fiscal cliff, one thing to keep an eye on would be the ITA. It's an extremely low volume ETF. This is the defense ETF, basket of 30 or 40 defense stocks. Defense is the area that will get hammered if we go over the fiscal cliff. 500 billion in cuts over the next 2 years. ITA has been pretty strong of late and continues to be strong this past week, even with all the negativity out there, and is actually breaking multi-year highs here at $68. So I would keep an eye on the ITA. If the ITA starts to tank, the fiscal cliff is approaching. If it continues to hold up, then you could probably be safe ignoring the back and forth nonsense from the politicians. So just an ETF to keep an eye on if you want to get a clear idea of what actually is happening with the market right now. Let's jump into some stock plays. ATHX, new play for us on Friday. We've tried this one a couple of times, but it looks like we are finally ready to rock and roll. Breakout of a nice symmetrical triangle on Friday through the 20-day exponential. First target, 50-day at 115, but I believe this is going to see a full recovery just like we saw on OCLR when we picked this puppy up after a significant sell-off and it ended up doubling over the course of 2 weeks. I could see the same thing on ATHX into January, a full recovery of this sell-off. RSI is breaking 50. Very nice volume pop. Stochastics through 50. Unbalanced volume looks good, and I believe this is an extremely cheap stem cell play given the moves we have seen in peers like CUR up massively over the last couple of months, and STM as well over the last 3 months up big. So I believe this is a very nice risk-reward play into the new year. I know a ridiculous close on Friday. This stock was at 55, 56 cents going into the last 10 minutes of the day, and they painted it right on the bell. They are at a couple of conferences this week. We are expecting phase 2 trial data from both their leukemia drug and their Hep C drug. So we have a lot of potential news flow coming this week. The clown seller is almost out of shares. Probably another week of selling from this clown, if he still has selling to do. On Friday, they only sold 96,000 shares. So this stock has popped and held up under a lot of selling. A lot of strong hands are coming into this stock, and this should be a very, very nice play over the next month or so. Motor continues to fly. Big pop on Friday. We got that close above the 200-day moving average, and this stock looks like it's set for a move into year end. 89, 90 cents is the next breakout, and we start making that move to the ones. This is a stock that in January, especially if we get some news, I could see this one trading up here in the 140, 150 area, just given how we've seen these kind of stair-step or breakout charts, and the close above the 200-day moving average, very, very significant for this stock. So it could be a very, very nice move on this stock in the near term. IGO, disappointing to say the least. Got painted on the close on a 150K block, so we had a fund dump out, probably year-end tax selling right there for that fund on Friday. Would look for a snapback move on this one. It's trading right at its year's lows. Risk-reward looks attractive here, trading under cash, so we should see a nice little bounce back on this one on Monday. Check out the PopScan. PopScan has been on fire this week. There is a potential rule of 2 play in the PopScan, so definitely check that one out, and could be a nice little mover on that break of 2 on Monday. So that's it for the video. I will be out of the office for the next day or so. If you've got any questions, shoot me an email. I will be checking emails, and I will be sending out the PopScan as usual. So stay safe Monday and Tuesday, and I will see you guys next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.